Hello and
Oh, we just go into it. So usually, there's like a countdown where it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guess not this time around. Core Ross, thank you for showing this. So, Operation Commanding Force. So, what do I know about this? I watched all of the Core Ross videos. So apparently, there's a drone that can like blow up stuff. Like it's a drone that blows something up. I know nothing else. Like I haven't seen any of the leaks or anything like that, right? So I've seen all the stuff that Koros has talked about. So there's the drone that blows up. There's a Brazilian operator, and there's some kind of like mouse and keyboard fix thing that's happening this season. That's all I know. So let's take a look. Gonna do my normal reactions. Make sure you watch my reactions for basically every other season, because I think I give great insight because I am a fantastic YouTuber and I definitely know what I'm doing in my life.
welcome to Operation Commanding Force.
It was really hard to
I'm
say
Camille
that
Sal-
with a straight face. Okay, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
the squad led by
Yeah.
Habana, who will be welcoming a new
Okay, let's take a look. New operator Brava. That's the name of the new Brazilian operator. Anti-cheat mousetrap. We'll see how that goes. Anti-toxicity. Okay, sure. Balancing. Please buff sense. Quality of life. Please drone. Give me like the ability to change my sensitivity for specifically drones. And then onboarding. I don't know. Maybe make newcomer not dog.
operator this season.
Balancing changes that reinforce the tacticality of our game.
Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. There's apparently another like change with the reloads. Like apparently reloads are going to be more realistic. That's going to be exciting to see.
The Viper Strike faction is stepping onto the stage.
Is that an Echo drone? Can you hack utility? Is that what it is? You can hack utility? You can hack an Echo drone and use it? Dude, if that is... Oh my goodness.
Stage with Brava, a new
So, Para 308, cameras, oh geez. And then the USP-40. So is that the singular... Is that the only secondary weapon being used, the USP-40, right? Because if that's the case, that's going to be a huge representation of the USP-40, right? Because the USP-40 right now is currently used by Oryx, Jackal, and Mira. And they all have secondary options that allow you to destroy hatches, and I would argue that those options are better. But if this operator doesn't have a secondary hatch destroyer, this is going to be the biggest representation for the USP-40 we've ever seen. Also, as you can see here, the icon appears to still have the buckshot shot. Also, I just realized the quality is really bad. What? Sorry about that. My bad. Let's turn it up. Let's turn it up. The quality's still bad, but you know what? It is what it is. Yeah, that's the master key on that. Or sorry, not a master key. It's a M26 mass, which I think is modular assault shotgun system or something. I don't know. Whatever. It's the skeleton key in the game. That's what it is.
dastardly device capable of hacking Defender
It does hack it.
electronics and either destroying them from a distance or changing their allegiance entirely. Imagine a Defender
What?
triggering a Kapkan trap, or
Dude, I said this as a joke, but they actually did it.
getting slowed by Malusi's Banshee device.
Oh,
Imagine
so
an
that's how they
attacker
balance
causing
it. Because there's like little white lines. Because I'm like, if you can hack Kapkan traps, then how on earth would you know if a Kapkan trap is yours or not? Because it's not like with everything else, right? There's lasers or colors that help you know, because that's what they changed. They made it so that there's the team orientation thing. But I'm like, how would you do that for Kapkan traps? But I guess they have the little white lines next to it.
chaos with an on-site Maestro turret.
This is whack, bro.
Defenders will need to be on the lookout this season.
So,
as
by the way, good weapon selections. They chose weapons that are very underrated. The C1A1, very underrated, I would say, because the only operator it's used by right now is Buck, and there's not really any reason to use the C1A1 in on Buck because you would rather use the C8, also known as like I forgot. I think it's just the C8. Where you have, the high rate of fire and the shotgun, right? Because one of the biggest benefits of a shotgun is that you can open hatches, and that's what you can do with a DMR as well. It's like one of the bigger benefits of using a DMR. but you already have a shotgun attached anyways, so there's not really any reason to go buck and use the skeleton key. In a way, it makes sense, right? Because you have really long range with the cameras slash C1A1, and you have really close range with the shotgun. But when it comes to the destruction and being able to destroy hatches, I would rather use the C8 and then get the destruction from the skeleton key. But now we get to use it. And I mean, honestly, Capitão's assault rifle is not very underrated. It's pretty well used. But still, it's a good choice. I'm glad they added it because it is only used by one operator. So, like, I would say the same for the Type 89, right? Like, I want them to reuse the Type 89 as well, even though it is used by an operator that's pretty common. It's still a good weapon to reuse because it's only used by one operator. So, good choices. And I said what I said before for the USP-40 thing.
As Brava and
Yeah.
we're gonna dive into the
This immediately, I know I'm pausing a lot, whatever, it's fine. I'm editing the video down. This sounds like it's going to be really annoying as a defender. Like, straight up. This sounds like it's going to be incredibly annoying as a defender. Like, Flores. Like, the thing is with Flores, right? You can counter Flores by using Azami. Ooh, can Mozzie counter... Oh, okay. If Mozzie can counter this, if Mozzie can use his pest and steal this, but like, what would it do? I don't even know. But if he could, maybe you could like zap. Maybe it could zap like claymores. I don't know, but like, oh, okay. Sorry, I'm getting
design
excited.
of Brava with concept artist Sunshine Kim. Then get
This
the
sounds like
details
it's gonna be
of what
incredibly
makes
annoying,
Brava's
but also
drone
really fun.
unique from
as if it's part of her.
Also, let me point out too, right? Kind of funny. I don't know if this is like an ongoing trend, but like with the new operators and whatnot. Last year, season 1, which was Demon Vale, we had Azami, who is a Japanese operator, and that was the second introduction of a Japanese operator. And we've already been to Japan, is what I'm getting at. We've already had a Japanese operator before that, and then we've reintroduced Japan last year, season 1. Now, we're doing basically the exact same thing. We're revisiting Brazil again for a season 1 again. Kind of interesting. And both, for both Japan and Brazil, they both were operators that featured in season 1. So, what if next year, and they're kind of going in reverse order, right? Because, you know, that was season 4 was the first Japanese operator. Season 3 was the first Brazilian operator, and we went in that order from Japan to Brazil. What if next year we get an American operator? Because our season 2 featured American operators with Blackbeard and Valkyrie. And then 2 years from now, we get a Canadian operator for season 1. I don't know if they're even going that far. Like, are they going to make a year 11? I don't know. Or year 10, sorry. Yeah, surely they'll make a year 10.
She's a strong leader with years of experiences, just like her cousin Capitão. But she's not an intimidating and strict leader, unlike her cousin Capitão, anyways.
Are they actually cousins? Like, are they related?
As if it's part of her. She's a strong leader
Or is
with
that like
years
an
of
analogy?
experiences, just like was the main challenge.
She looks good. I think she looks... She's one of the more visually interesting operators in a while. So we've had Solus. Obviously, Solus is very visually interesting. But outside of Solus, right? Well, I guess what I'm just comparing to her is Grim, right? Compared to Grim, she looks pretty cool. I mean, she kind of has the same vibe. Sorry, I keep touching the microphone. My bad. Like with Grim, how they both look like soldiers, but like, yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it.
These rifles are powerful weapons that
That sounds like something you would see in a Ghost Recon, honestly. Is this a Ghost Recon gadget? A lot of parallels between Ghost Recon, apparently, with the Deimos guy, or Deimos. I'm gonna keep calling it Deimos. I don't care. That's how I've been pronouncing it for years. I genuinely don't care. I'm gonna call him Deimos. I'm gonna call the years, or not the years. I say the years because of the alpha year thing. If you haven't seen that, I might make a video on it. But I'm gonna call that Deimos, and I'm going to call the moon Deimos. If I'm ever going to be referring to Mars's smaller moon, I'm going to say Deimos, or is it bigger moon? Whatever. I think it's bigger.
break the connection.
And overeating defender gadgets.
Overeating.
It's a drone, so similar.
Bro, if you use this, if you use this to destroy a bandit battery, I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. if you are only using it to destroy bandit batteries, I officially hate you. Just go Twitch. Please do not use this just to destroy bandit batteries. Just go Twitch, unless if Twitch gets banned.
When you shoot at a electronic,
which I guess it's kind of a counter to Twitch, right? But it's also a... Now that I think about it, why would you use Twitch? Like, hold on, wait. Why would you use Twitch? Genuinely, I'm thinking about that now. Is there any reason to go Twitch? Are they going to buff Twitch? Because this gadget it has infinite uses, apparently, according to the little thing at the bottom right. So it can literally it's basically just a better Twitch. Like, what? Why would you use, oh, you know what? The cooldown is probably longer, isn't it? In which case, yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, Twitch drones can get stolen. If this thing can't get stolen, then, like, I don't even know, man. Okay.
steal a Captain
I hope
Trap,
this thing can get stolen by
steal
Mozzie.
the yokai drones, all that are intel. It's always going to be good.
I just can't. I'm just like, what's up with Twitch? Like, is Twitch just dead? I just can't think of a reason to use Twitch.
Brava brings two primary weapons. We have the Para 308.
Oh, you know what? Twitch. I just realized Twitch can destroy mirror windows. This thing probably can't. I'll be honest. The vast majority of the time I'm using Twitch is to open mirror windows. So Twitch will basically become the dedicated open mirror windows operator. And honestly, that's really what I use her for anyways. Like, I'm straight up, if they don't have a mirror, I'm not going Twitch. I just don't like the risk of my Twitch drone getting destroyed. So with that in consideration, Twitch is still going to have some usage, but she is getting vastly overshadowed by Brava. What's that word? Power creeped by Brava.
And the Cam RS.
Assuming that there aren't any buffs to Twitch.
It's high damage, low rate of fire, but you know how it works.
Yeah, and extended barrel
We
now,
have
which
the
can two-shot people.
as the other option. For the secondary weapons, we have the
Are they not going to add like a grip as an option? Because if not, that's kind of stupid.
super.
Oh, they did. They gave her the super shirt. So remember when I was talking about like, oh man, the USP-40 is about to get a hell of representation. Never mind, just scratch all that. They gave her the Super 40.
And the USP-40. You know the deal.
Just like, oh man, I'm sorry, USP-40. You just can't get love. You're always going to be overshadowed by the utility secondaries. Unless the only way that I can see the USP-40 getting any love is if they remove it from Jackal. In which case, anybody who plays Jackal has to use the USP-40. But other than that, man, USP-40, I'm sorry. Oh man, I went on that whole tangent about how the USP-40 is finally getting love, and then they do this.
We have a This means that
Both
you can
are pretty good, actually. I think actually, now that I think about it, the smoke grenade might be better. But I would rather have a Claymore watching my back. But the smoke grenade is a good choice too, because you can go in, you can send in the smoke grenade and then send your drone in there, and you might not get noticed.
But there's also creative ways of doing it. You can steal a Maestro, use the Maestro to deny those devices. That's the kind of things that you will learn about Brava, and that's why it's exciting.
It is really exciting.
Solis is a great way to counter Brava. Either you can spot Brava when she's droning.
Solis is a great counter. Oh
vulnerable.
yeah.
Mozzie is an interesting counter here.
Please,
we
let's
have
see what
a
happens.
two-way relationship. You can steal the pest and do all of the crazy things that you can think of. But the pest can also steal the clutch drone, and then from there you can steal Claymore.
Oh my god, I knew it! I called it! Oh, let's go! Dude, I knew, whatever happened, I knew that the Mozzie Brava, like, synergy, or whatever, the counter, was gonna be crazy. Oh, that's so cool.
Steal air jabs,
steal
retake some
air
drones.
jabs!
There's a lot of possibilities.
Oh my god, that is so cool! Oh my god. So, so let me think this through, right? Wait a minute. Okay, no, I'm assuming if you're playing as Brava and you shoot a pest, it just destroys the pest. Because I'm like, if the pest turns into a defender or an attacker pest, then what would that do? Could you steal echo drones? Oh my god. Imagine that. Or if you could re-steal. Imagine this. Okay, imagine this, right? Mozzie steals a drone. Brava steals a pest. And then steals back that drone. Oh man. I just knew I knew that this was going to be an interesting operator. Ooh,
here. So it's really a counter and counter synergy.
I love it. I love stuff like that.
Hammer, and then it's going to disable defender gadgets.
Oh, it
Vigil's gadgets
disables
allow-
defender gadgets. What? Wait, hold on. I never thought about that. What does that mean? Like, if you're Vigil, your thing gets disabled? Like, does it EMP it? Like, is it an EMP effect? Like, if you have an Echo drone going through it, it EMPs the Echo drone? Koros, you're either really happy or really annoyed right now, because there is like 1,000 things to test with this operator. There is the Mythbusters for this is going to be like 3 episodes, probably 4, because there is just so many possibilities.
Jump on your drone and destroy it.
Vigil's a great counter
I
too,
think
yeah.
our experienced players will be able to make
Oh, that is
Bravo
a good point. I never thought. Oh man, Vigil's a great counter. I mean, Solus is probably going to be the best counter still, but Vigil is a great counter.
Shan, Melusi, Aruni,
Yeah.
Maestro, all of those.
So then everybody on the defender team just goes like, Rook, Doc. I don't even know. Those are the only 2 characters I can think of that have gadgets that can't be destroyed or stolen. Or, well, technically Rook Armor can be destroyed, but you're going to pick them all up before the prep phase starts, so.
Those defenders that
before the
brings
prep phase
high
ends,
value
yeah.
gadgets.
And balanced.
Oh my
for
god,
all
I
players.
forgot that there are other things other than just the operator. The operator is so substantial. This recording is 23 minutes long, and we're not even 10 minutes into the video. There's just so much to talk about. This is such an exciting season. What in the world are you going to do? Is it going to be like, okay, there's 2 different things, right? Either, like, what could they do? Like, create an algorithm that can detect, like, hey, you're moving your thing too fast with too much precision, that it has to be a mouse and keyboard. That's the only thing I can think of. Because it can't detect it by, like, looking at the device, because it emulates an Xbox controller, if you're on Xbox. I don't know. Maybe they'll take my solution, where it's like, you have to verify your controller by, like, putting it in the sticks in a specific angle at a specific direction first, and then, I don't know. We'll see.
It's one of the biggest complaints that we get from our community.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. But, I mean, credit where credit's due. Like, a lot of people, like, Ubisoft, they complain to Ubisoft about everything. And sometimes the complaints are, like, genuinely warranted. But I'm going to be honest, right? The defaults on Xbox and PlayStation for this one, this isn't really something you can easily fix. This isn't something where it's like, oh, you have to, like they, according to Ubisoft, they see see a controller I'm at. So, like, you'd have to come up with a complicated algorithm in order to detect mouse and keyboard, because Ubisoft really can't do much of anything other than that.
And we heard you. We agree. Starting in Season 8, Year 1.2, when we detect
Season
spoofing,
1.2.
we're going to start adding extra latency to your inputs.
Again, how are they detecting it, though? Some complicated algorithm? That's...
That accessibility.
They didn't really
group
answer that
here at
question.
Ubisoft. So we are trying.
Hello. Hey. Oh, you got Taco Bell? Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. So, that sounds like a pretty interesting and novel idea, but, like, again, how are they gonna, like... So, basically what I'm hearing is that, like, they're having, like, some kind of input delay where if you are using mouse and keyboard on Xbox and they detect it, then you're gonna get more and more delay? That is the most out there... That is crazy. I did not expect that. Yeah, because they said they're not going to ban them, which I think is probably a good choice. It's probably a good choice, because here's the thing about mouse and keyboard on console, right? You can call the people that are using it scumbags and all that stuff, and that's valid. Honestly, it's valid. I don't use mouse and keyboard myself. I think it's cheap. I think that anybody who uses it is, like, ruining the gaming experience for everyone else. But at the same time, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think that the people who use it, you know, maybe they're like, I don't know. Is there really a defense? Like, if they had just banned everyone, I honestly wouldn't have probably thought much about it. In fact, I really wouldn't have thought much about it at all, because I've never used it, and I think that people who use it are cheating, and I think they should deserve to get banned. But at the same time, that's a lot of players, and I mean, like at the same time too, right? Like, let's say you're like a high level player and you really want to get the champion, like pre, season 4, year 7. You really had to use a mouse and keyboard to compete. Like, you could not use a controller and compete at the highest level. So, honestly, valid.
Something new to improve the fairness of Siege.
And also, when they mentioned the QR code, I thought straight up they were going to be like, if you give us, there's a QR code, and then you can use it to buy the PC version of. Also, just add like here's the thing. Add mouse and keyboard support, native mouse and keyboard support to Xbox, and then make it so that there are different groups, so you can play on the mouse and keyboard section or the Xbox section / PlayStation if you're on PlayStation. That would be like, okay, cool. You want to use mouse and keyboard? Go play mouse and keyboard. No excuses. If you have a disability and you want to use mouse and keyboard, play in the mouse and keyboard section. Do not use that against other controller players.
Mousetrap will be coming year 8, season 1.2.
So it's not activated at the beginning.
In the same vein, starting this season, reloading will be more tactical than ever.
Okay, this is what we were talking about, the tactical reloading. Let's take a look. Balancing the update for Zero. So I saw in the title that there was a Zero rework from Jaeger himself. I didn't look at it because I wanted to not spoil myself. Yeah, curious to see what happens. Also, reload rework, huh?
Longer get the benefits of reload canceling. And what I mean by that
Ooh, bullet in the... Okay, so you get one bullet in the mag. So it's realistic. That is actually realistic. So it's like in, what's that game? What is the game? Insurgency Sandstorm. If you didn't know, if you've played Insurgency Sandstorm, but if you didn't know, when Insurgency Sandstorm, whenever you empty your magazine, whenever you reload your magazine, and the magazine is fully out of the gun, then if you cancel that animation, usually by switching weapons, then whenever you fire, you will fire one bullet, and that's it. And that's exactly what's happening here, and that's cool. That's so cool. Yes.
we have, which is to use the
So, is it going to be realistic though? Where I doubt it will be. But what if it was realistic where open bolt guns, you don't have the one in the chamber? So like with the Frost SMG or the SMG-11, I can't think of any other open bolt guns, but I know others exist. If it were to be realistic, because they were open bolt guns, that means that when you reload, you have 0 bullets, because there is no such thing as 1 bullet in the chamber for open bolt guns. If they wanted to be realistic. But then again, I doubt that. I'm assuming that they're just saying, hey, they're closed bolt. Oops, I punched my computer. I'm assuming that Ubisoft is just saying they're closed bolt. We're not gonna worry about it, because whenever you reload, they're not realistic, right? You have 1 bullet in the chamber anyways for the purposes of reloading, and also there's no delay from pulling the trigger like in real life. If you fire the trigger, it takes like a tiny fraction of a second because the bullet has to come up first before the firing pin can get hit. Sorry, the firing pin? Whatever, you know what I mean. Before the primer can get struck and launch the bullet. The bullet has to get sent up into the chamber first because it's not in the chamber by default, as is the practice of open bullet weapons. Anyways, yes.
secondary updates that is actually affecting our core. We make those changes.
So
but we know
LMGs...
this is the direction we want to go in to bring Siege to.
Well, that makes sense. LMGs wouldn't have one in the chamber because you're taking the whole thing out. You're taking the whole belt out. So LMGs will be accurate.
Be more tactical. The muzzle brake, we're going from 45% up to 50%.
Oh, wow. That's a huge...
For the compensator,
Okay.
we're making an adjustment from 15% to 35%.
Whoa!
One great feature that was introduced in year 7.
That's
is the
huge. 15% to 35%? I mean, to be fair, I think that's what it used to be, right? Look at the old Rogue 9 video. I'm pretty sure that's how it used to be, but whoa! Wow, okay, so now it's actually genuinely super impactful what attachments you use. They really changed the attachments like every year. It's kind of funny.
shooting range.
Like, no, but literally though. They made a change back in year 6 during Operation North Star. They're like, oh, we're going to completely change the way that the attachments work. Next year, year 7, I forgot what season it was, but they're like, we're going to completely change the attachments. This year, they're not going to completely change the attachments, but they are going to, make some massive changes. which I'm not against, but it also just means like, man, if you played like and going back and Operation Throwback playing some of the older seasons, the difference in recoil for these guns is absolutely insane. Like, I don't think you guys, because most of you haven't played like the older seasons in a long time, right? I imagine very few people have played like Operation Black Ice recently, but I have, and oh my goodness, the difference in recoil is absolutely absurd. Every gun was so inaccurate. And the pistols, do you remember the pistol recoil? It was nuts. The thing would like cover you like half your screen. It's crazy, man. But wow. Okay. Anyways, I think those are all good changes. There's not a single thing that I will complain about this season. A lot of seasons, there's like one thing that I complain about. For year 7, for the last season, Solar Raid, it was the I think there was a couple of things. I think it was like it was the rework where they made it so that you can't look at people's rank on you can't look at people's casual rank on R6 Tracker anymore. Really obnoxious and annoying change. Then the season before that, it was the change where going prone doesn't give you better accuracy when hip firing. Oh, and they also nerfed the hip fire for a bunch of different guns like the AK-12, the 6P and whatnot, and Solar Raid as well. Like every season there's been that one thing that bothers me, and it's just like, dang man, if they didn't do this, this would be a great season. I mean, to be fair, it was a great season no matter what. Solar Raid, baller of a season, honestly might be in like top 4 of seasons. It's a really good season. Yeah.
Elite operator.
We're going to also introduce a dynamic button for each.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Competitive quick play trading. Yeah, okay. So shooting range, training ground situations. Yeah.
And it's going to be right below the tile.
Oh,
that
nice.
allows our players to select the game modes directly from there instead of having to go through the global settings button.
That's a great change.
For the future, we aim to further improve the menu.
We're introducing a new spin on Bravo Packs, aimed to
Called
give you
Gamma
even
Packs.
more choice when it comes to earning cosmetics.
We launched the new battle
Wait,
pass last week.
Whoa, hold on. Run it back. What?
By our community. What we want to do this year is actually give you even more choice as to which reward you unlock from the Bravo Packs. So the players that finish the 100 tiers of the Battle Pass,
so
we're giving you what we call the Bravo.
You get to tier 100, and then you get to directly choose the item that you want from the Bravo Packs.
Pack tickets.
Wow.
This will actually give you the opportunity to browse all of the rewards from the Bravo Packs and choose the one that you want to unlock. We've had a lot of feedback from the community around the UI and the UX of the feature.
Okay. I'll be honest, right? I heard a lot of people complaining about it. Honestly, it's fine. It's fine. Why are people it's not that complicated. Come on. It's not that complicated. Look at it. Just look and read. It's not that hard. I'm sorry. I have friends that complain about it. They're like, oh, this battle pass sucks. Just look at it. I don't know why. I just don't understand. Like, how do you not get it?
Best moments in.
What is that?
Associate Game Director Christopher Budgeon is here to explain it all.
Christopher ain't budging. Sorry, I had to do the pun. Lorem ipsum.
Every time a newcomer plays a match.
Lorem ipsum Dolores Dement. Yeah. And placeholder. I mean, it's a placeholder. Listen, I'm not complaining. It's a placeholder. They're very obvious about how it's a placeholder, but it's just kind of funny.
Well, you're progressing those challenges and you'll unlock another breach operator to play as.
Oh.
It will be a great.
Dude. Okay, hold on. For real though, this is a banger season. Like, oh my god, dude, I can't believe how much. Like, this is the most, maybe not the most, but it is like one of the most community friendly like updates I've ever seen in my life. Like, they're like, you know what? We're going to give you the opportunity to unlock the specific items you want. We're going to make it easier for you to unlock characters. We're going to make it easier for onboarding. Like, oh my god. Like, I don't care that much. I'm going to bring it out. I don't really care that much about any of this. But it's so cool to see them actually committing to making it a good experience for new players. One of the biggest things I have that's kind of, like, really annoying is this mantra of, like, oh, they always, like, the developers of Siege only care about the feedback of the pros. Now, there are a handful of things that are definitely pretty stupid, where they only listen to the feedback of pros. For example, the Goyo nerf, like when Goyo first came out when he had 3 shields. Nobody really thought he needed to be nerfed, but they nerfed him. In fact, he was underpowered in the most community, but he was overpowered in the pro scene, so they nerfed it. Actually, I think some other people were complaining about it too. But the point is that they especially thought it was overpowered for the pro scene, so they nerfed it. Yeah, and also the stuff with the hipfire, where they nerfed the hipfire stuff. Really stupid, right? And there are a handful of things, but still, though, as a whole, I would say Ubisoft is doing a really good job of like catering to everybody. Like, sure, they do a handful of stuff where they cater to pros, but they also do a lot of stuff where they cater to new players, where they cater to veteran players, where they cater to casual players, competitive players. They do a lot of everything. They're doing a fantastic job overall. Just because there are a handful of things I disagree with does not mean that, as a whole, they aren't doing a good job. It bothers me so much whenever they're like, oh, or not they, but it bothers me so much when people in the community are like, oh, they only care about like pro players, because it's just not true. And I'll even argue with people about it. I'm like, okay, what about this and this and this and this and this? And it's very like just aggravating. But I mean, I feel like that's never going to change. Like, Ubisoft can literally be like, all right, we're getting rid of the pro scene. Pros no longer matter. We do not care about what pros say. And there would still be people complaining about how they only gear towards pros. Absolutely crazy. It's copium, because they have issues with the game, and they just try and come up with any solution to justify their hatred. It's kind of nuts. Wait, what? We have Intel, Breach, Frontline, and then Frontline, Breach. What? Intel support, Intel anti-gadget, Intel map control. I guess. But these are literally the same thing, but switched around. Weird, whatever. Crowd control trapper, anti-entry crowd control, anti-gadget support. Okay, I mean, this is cool. This is cool. Making it easier to unlock new operators in Siege is always a great thing, because there's a lot of operators in Siege. More than 60 right now. So making it easier to unlock certain operators. Like, I was really happy whenever they reduced the price from 25,000 to 10,000 to 25,000, depending on how old they are. I think it's like every year, like after a year of the operator being released, it reduces by 5,000 to a minimum of 10,000. I think they should go even further. I think they should make it, with how many operators there are in the game right now, I think they should make it so that if the operator is 5 years or older, it's 5,000. So, like, Buck, Blackbeard, basically everyone up to, well, maybe 6 years. Maybe 6 years. If they're 6 years or older, then it's 5,000. So everybody up to, White Noise. Everyone up to Lion and Dokebi. There we go. I was struggling right there. It was like year 3. Year 3.
Test server next week.
Oh, next week. So usually you wait like 1 day. Now they're changing it so that you have to wait 7 days. Not really a problem. Actually, that is interesting. Because usually they have the test server period for 3 weeks. Or 2 weeks. One of those two. Is it 3 or 2? Whatever. And then, yeah, huh. Okay. That's weird. Okay, sure, whatever. So about a month from now. Like, probably like mid-March. So are they not doing the year reveals? So like, this was only, maybe it's just specifically this video I watched, or maybe they're spreading them apart where they have the year reveal and then the season reveal as 2 separate events. That's very possible as well. So, yeah. Overall, I mean, let me wait another 21 seconds before I say anything. Actually, I'll just keep talking. Overall, great season. Literally like an absolute banger. 1 elite skin for Finka. Ooh. Seasonal event. Wait, what is the top right one? Balancing update, okay. So, yeah. Mousetrap is not... March 7th is the live release. Wait, what? That math doesn't add up. March 7th is the live release? That's way too early. Or maybe not. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, that was a fun little time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you watch my other reaction videos. Take care. Peace. Bye.